So on that note, let's go and have a look at the S&P. This is what we've got overnight. We have had your close came in down here at 28 and a quarter. That was at 9 o'clock, and we'll look at the settlement in a moment. We have then dipped off a little bit lower, pushed down 9 handles to 20 and 3/4, and then we've moved back higher. So your overnight low, overnight high is currently up at 47 and 3/4. Remember, one of these should go today. There's a 92% chance of it happening. The next thing that I think is going to give us a clue on direction is this wedge. Whichever way this breaks at the moment, it's looking perhaps a little bit more to the upside, but until it breaks, nothing's confirmed. Whichever way the wedge goes should give a little bit more direction in that way. So if it breaks to the downside, you're looking at the overnight low. If it breaks to the upside, I'd be looking at 56 and a quarter, which is also a previous value area high. So let's go and have a quick look at what it's actually doing on the profile and what it's done on the dailies. This is your daily chart. Now, we had the rather bearish looking candle coming into month end. This is the day before yesterday. Opened high, dropped back down, closed very low, very strong move down, and closed below 43s. We've then pushed up back into this range, so we're actually looking reasonably strong until the month end. We really sold off on the month end and closed quite a lot lower. So looking at the candlesticks, it's looking pretty weak. We are, however, once again opening back up at 43s. So whilst we're back above 43s, I think this could end up being a lot of people caught short into the month end who have then all got to get out. You know, there's been a bit of that overnight. That's why we've seen this move higher, but it could end up seeing a lot of these people caught out and the market start to move higher. The key area to the upside, 71 and 3/4. That's the gap fill, is also the 618 of the move down from the beginning of the year as well. So very, very key area. I would definitely expect resistance there. I expect us to pull back a little bit from there. So go and have a little look at the profile. Now, what we've got on the profile, we've got your close right the way down here, comes in at 30s. That was the settlement close as opposed to 28 and a quarter, which was the 9 o'clock close. So you're looking at the close at 30s, and we're now back up above those 43s, and we're back into this range. Now, profile yesterday is very poor. You can see there's very little balance. It's very, very flat. There's no more than about 5 TPOs almost anywhere. You've got this one ledge of 6 TPOs up here. So that makes me feel that this should get explored again. We should trade back up through here just to see if there's any more sellers, or to see if we can get, you know, some new buying and push ourselves higher. So for me at the minute, after we've had that move down, move back higher, I'm looking 39 and a halves, these single prints to hold. You've also got 37 and a halves, the bottom of the single prints. This coincides, the 39s was last week's VPOC as well, so you can see why we've done the single print straight through it. This I'm looking for to hold and move back above 43 and move right the way back up. Trade all of this value out and look up towards 53 and a quarter, and then those 56 and a halves that I mentioned from that push if we get through the wedge. Now to the downside, I'd be thinking in terms of if we can get through 39, 37, you're looking firstly to the value area low at 35. You've then got this close that's going to be the target. That comes in at 30s. Beyond there, then you're looking down towards 26 and a half. The overnight low, which comes in at 20 and 3/4, which you can see is just on the bottom of these single prints. And the next key area, I do think this will give you a little bit of a buy, is last week's value area low. It comes in at 16 and a quarter, coincides with these single prints, coincides with a previous high, also a previous low at 15 and a quarter. So make sure your stops are below 15 and a quarter. It's also this low volume node as well. So that's where I'd be looking for support on any kind of move down. Now, on top of all this, I had a quick look back at the last time we saw a very strong European Open on the beginning of the month, and this came in November. So I've gone back and had a look at what the S&P did in November last year. to see what if it sort of had much of a bearing. Now, this was November. This is on a 5-minute chart. So this was the move into the close last November. It moved down from around about 7:30. This is the kind of trade that we do look for it to sell off from 7:30. This was actually 7 that it got to a peak. 7:30 it came off, continued lower, and then we got a strong push down and closed near the lows on into 9 o'clock. Very similar to what we saw yesterday. Put this onto a 5-minute for you. And the same kind of thing yesterday. Where's it gone? This was the move from around about 7:30. Well, in fact, once again, this was 4:30, European close. We moved lower, we continued lower. This was a 7:30, and then we continued lower. We dipped lower and moved back up. With this, what we're doing at the moment, we've dipped lower and moving back up into the US session. That looks very familiar. We dipped lower, moved back up into the US session, and then watch the time up here. Around about 2 o'clock, this is where we got to. So we'd actually come back above the close. We're back higher. This is looking extremely similar to that November trade. And so for that reason, I am looking for that move higher. And again, this is supported by the profile that we can see. Where's it gone? Very much supported by the profile that if we can't get back below 39.5, then I do think we move quite a bit higher right the way through value, and you've got sort of minimum really target of around about 53, so about 14 handles if we do start looking at that move. So that's what I'm going to be looking for the S&P. Obviously, anything below 37, that does change things, and we could very well be looking down towards the close. All right, guys, I'm going to leave you with that. Have a good afternoon. I will be back on in a few hours. We'll go through some of these trades, see how they panned out, and we'll look at some of the fundamentals that have been going on for the day. All right, guys, I'll leave you with that. Have a good afternoon.